Hello, we're in the second part. My name is Harry Tambuatco. Our guest, Derek Ramsey Sr. And we're talking about security and technology today. Derek, when you were talking about the different engineers, the number that has increased over the years with GuardAll, the systems, and you've already supplied a lot of hardware and software. All of that, before you begin, comes from an idea first and
Correct.
foremost, right?
Yes.
What it is you want to secure and best how to secure this. For example, you said you do buildings, you do airports, you do manufacturing. So you guard the facility.
Yes.
And the best way to do that, you still don't like to expel security guards, you still like the idea to have a security guard.
You cannot have a security system without somebody to react. Guards will always
That's
have
static.
a job.
Yeah.
We're not here to take away anybody's employment.
Okay.
But I think probably the best example I can give you that everybody would understand, if you go back to the mid-1990s, every five-star hotel in Manila would have a contingent of security, but every single floor would be a security guard. You
That's
remember?
correct. Yes,
And
correct.
if you came up with a partner,
Yes.
it would have to go in the book, and if you paid 200 pesos, maybe it wouldn't go in the book.
Correct.
And I was able to convince most of the large hotels here that for a certain capital budget, they could put in 2 or 3 cameras in each of the hallways throughout the whole hotel. And most hotels now run with a security staff of between 7 and 10 total security.
That's it. And 20 years
As
ago,
opposed to
30 years ago.
40, 50 headaches.
Okay,
You
that's
remember
a
what
big
we
yes.
said earlier?
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
can't be corrupted. We
Correct.
did a hotel very near to here, and in the first 3 weeks, they recovered $85,000 of stolen property because of the camera. So
Far
the
more
return on
than
investment
humans. Yes,
was
yes.
pretty quick.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So the capital investment definitely outweighs the cost anyway of security services. I mean, for the human security.
If you can make the client understand that, making him understand that.
So it's not that easy to convey that message.
No, it's not.
I would think it's basic. I mean, you're just telling me, I'm already convinced immediately. I don't understand why a
But
capitalist...
how many cameras do you see around the malls and now around the streets? If you would actually go back and look at what those cameras are looking at, I'm afraid my experience is that half of them are not working, and another quarter are certainly not able to identify people properly. The systems haven't been designed correctly because everybody wants to do it the cheapest possible way. The cheapest way is, I buy that for $10 instead of $20, I agree. But you know as well as I do, if I pay $20 and buy something better and it's still working in 2 years' time, long term, I've saved an awful lot of money.
That's right. But it's not just the camera. It's the people behind that data that you can pick up on the camera, isn't it? Isn't that the idea first and foremost?
Well, the idea of designing a CCTV system, and whether it be some people like them at their house, which is normally to watch the front gate, the back door, maybe the perimeter fence, to a hotel.
Per floor.
I better not mention, but the average hotel in Makati would have in excess of 120, and in fact one has got nearly 200 cameras.
So the camera room, the video room, needs somebody to analyze all this information and data coming in.
Again, you have to look at that. You see, in the old days when you had VHS tapes, it was very, very easy. Now, with digital, it can be a little bit more difficult because, as you know now, because it's digital, you can put 16 views on one screen.
It's harder to
But
see.
even if you've got a screen the size of, you know,
Yes.
a 60-inch screen, 32 or 16 views will really make your eyes go quite peculiar. But the thing is, everything is being recorded.
Right, so you can easily go back.
What you have to do, and again, this is where our approach is a bit different of some of our competitors who just want to sell equipment. Our idea is to go in, convince them that the operators of the CCTV should not be from the same security agency as their security staff.
You also train that part.
We train them, and sometimes we even supply them.
So other than supply and the idea and the concept of security and its hardware, you also come in with the software and the training.
Absolutely.
Because without that, that's totally useless. Yes, you're right. More than half are off. I mean, we found out even in NAIA, well, then that was the worst situation. NAIA 3, they didn't even have a security camera. And if I'm not mistaken, it's been close to a year where that mayor got shot or something, right, in broad daylight.
The bidding has just been cancelled again.
There you go.
I think probably we don't need to go there at the moment. That actual design has been going on for 6 years.
Jesus, this government does a lot of
6
studying
years.
without action.
Well, I don't know whether it's the government. I don't know whether it's Republic Act 9184 that's causing the problem. I really don't understand it. But to have your premier international airport with a system that was basically put in 1997, which is black and white, yes, it's been upgraded in some areas. I don't think it bodes very well for what.
But that would have been Fraport. That design would have been German, because that was
No. That was put in under a British government aid project in 1997.
Worse, the British are very security oriented. How did that happen?
Well, they're the CCTV camera capital of the world.
Exactly. Then how did that happen?
Well, they put it in as part of an aid project in 1996. We were actually subcontracted by the British company who did it. It was a very large job. It involved training. It involved explosive
I would
detection,
imagine,
X-rays.
yes.
But it was a very large. There was 4.7 kilometers of fiber optic cable,
My gosh.
which is still all there. It still can be used, but I just do not understand. I've attended the biddings, and people would. I think I better not tell you, but people would. We won a bid and then lost it for 0.0035 of a centavo. Can you tell me how much that is?
No. Gee.
We had actually won the bid.
It sounds like what we make on our savings when we put money in the bank, which is zilch.
There's no such thing.
There's no such thing.
Yeah.
When we talk of security, what do we need to think of first? What we hold most dearly, be it our lives or material wealth, correct?
Depending. If you're a homeowner, yes, of course, you want to protect your wife, and then you've got to take in all the variables. Does the husband travel a lot? If he travels a lot, the wife could be by herself. In addition to Guardall, I have another company called Quick Alert Security Devices.
Quick Alert, yes.
And we monitor alarms all over the country.
Okay.
So if something happens at a house in Davao, I know about it here in Manila in 10 to 15 seconds. Okay?
And you have protocol already on how to address the crime that's progressing.
And we don't just use it for security, you know, burglary, theft, whatever, but we tie onto it. We always insist have a couple of smoke detectors. No point to secure your house if it burns down and kills the occupants.
I see. You can also, I forgot, you may secure your house for fire.
Exactly. And then what's the other thing that happens here often? The husband or the wife will have a serious incident in the house.
Yes, they have a fight
maybe
or
a heart
something.
attack
Yes.
or somebody gets injured or whatever. We had one absolute incident where a woman pressed her panic button and we were able to ring the house. A baby had a plastic bag over his head. This was an American lady in Forbes.
Yes, yes.
And we were able to talk her through, don't panic, go and get a pair of scissors, cut the bag off, etc., etc.
So you work like a 911.
We are tied up with Lifeline Arrows. I don't know if you know Lifeline Arrows.
I'm familiar with it.
Very, very professional
I know
group.
Lifeline. We had it in Alabang.
So we're in a position now, we can protect those, or not protect though, but monitor the premises from a security point of view. We can monitor those premises from a fire point of view. And we can provide that household, anybody that's in that household, at an almost minimal amount of money, the opportunity to get immediate medical attention, normally in less than 10 minutes. And what's the hardest thing to get in Manila? An ambulance.
That's right.
Most areas of Manila, Lifeline have agreed with us, they will respond in less than 20 minutes.
They already, because they have many avenues, they're very...
And they're parked in very strategic areas throughout.
So security is not just for bodyguard systems. It's not just wealth protection. It's for health. It can also be for intrusion.
Peace of mind.
Nice. Peace of mind. Peace of mind. Do you think the people are aware, in general, the community, not necessarily just Makati or the NCR, the Filipino in general, are we aware as a people about security and how to handle our security, considering you've been here 3 decades? Are we familiar with it? Do we understand it? Do we even respect it?
Certainly in Metro Manila and to some extent now in Cebu, Cagayan, there are companies and we've done presentations and there are international meetings. So yes, they're becoming made more aware. When we started, I was basically seen as the enemy of the security guard agencies.
I would think so.
And I was accused
You were
of
competition.
taking away jobs, but we're not competition.
Yes.
We are not competition. What we do is provide the guard or the police or
You
the
can
fire
provide the
brigade.
agency. You have a connection to a security agency.
Under Philippine law, I'm not allowed to have any shares in a guard agency.
No, but you can recommend. You
We
work
work very closely
Yes.
with 2 or 3 of the more prominent agencies here.
the bigger ones. Yes.
And they ask me and I train their guards.
Right.
And as you remember I mentioned earlier, we recommend to hotels when they have a security system, CCTV,
Right.
use a separate agency for your monitoring staff. You remember the PAGCOR? You go back years again to PAGCOR.
Okay.
When they started putting in, they had a huge...
It's
you know,
everywhere.
9 casinos, yeah?
But I thought that was to
That
watch
was-
the croupiers, because of the wheeling
What
and
I-
dealing.
Partly it was. A very large part of it was. But what I said to them at that stage was, do not let your monitoring crew be the same as the guys on the
That's
floor.
right. There could
Because
be
if you got
conspiracy.
collusion,
You're dead.
you've
You're done.
wasted your entire investment.
That's right, isn't it? It's understanding the system and how the system can work for you. Is it easier 3 decades later, having gone into the trade, it was an opportunity in disguise, you saw it, there was no one in it, so you developed it and you brought in through your expertise, know-how, you brought in the systems, the technologies. Today, is it easier to sell the systems than it was 30 years ago?
Absolutely, yes.
Because there is more, why? Because people are more scared? Because government is poor?
No. I number one would definitely be on the economic side. Back in the late 90s, the security guard was about 2,700 pesos a month.
It's much, much
A
more
security
now.
guard in Metro Manila now with VAT is nearly 30,000.
There you go.
So, that's a tremendous expense. And if you're a large company employing 100 guards, you can see how much money you can save by putting in a system. CCTV was our first big investment to bring in the right equipment, the right technology, and very shortly in the late 80s, early 90s, we brought in access control. Access control, anybody who's got multiple offices should think seriously about access control because it makes people be where they're supposed to be. I can remember when we did San Miguel in San Fernando, and the manager there rang me up and he said, you know that access control system you put in for me? I said, yeah, I hope it's working well. He said, working well? He said, I'm a time and motion man. He said, and my production has gone up 53%.
Jesus Christ, that's fantastic.
Because
It's
that
the other way
person couldn't
around.
go and talk to that person, couldn't go and talk to that person. You put people where they're supposed to be and where they're supposed to work.
Okay, we're going to have to take a short break again. This goes really fast. I find myself, normally, as you well know, I'm always doing all the talking. But then again, when the resource people are very, very good, they talk to me. So stay and enjoy the show. We'll be right back.